Podtacular, the unofficial Halo Universe podcast presents episode 606, Where in the World is Halo? Recorded live on November 29th, 2017. Hello everyone, welcome to Podtacular, the unofficial Halo Universe podcast. I am your host, Duststorm.
I'm your co-host, Godzilla T.
And we're back with another newsless episode. Yay!
Yay!
So thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll see you next week. No, I'm just kidding. We do have a couple things to talk about tonight. But there's pretty much no Halo news. As far as like big announcements or official blog posts on Halo Waypoint, stuff in the community, there's really not much going on. There is some HCS game mode and feedback threads that are going on over on the Waypoint forums that Josh Minkey posted a little bit earlier yesterday. But other than that, there really isn't much going on in the Haloverse. There isn't a new community update since our last show. There's no new posts on the Waypoint blog. There's a couple of interesting discussions on the Halo subreddit. Other than that, Forge Hub doesn't have much, Griffle Hub doesn't have much, HBO doesn't have much. I think everyone took a break during Thanksgiving.
Pretty much. I don't blame them.
Junos was saying that Grim stuffed himself too much to move.
Yeah.
Our lore master is stuck. Speaking of said individual, Grim got engaged. So we want to say congratulations to him and future Grim Wifey 1. Does that work? I don't know.
Maybe?
I saw someone respond on Twitter, Grim Wife, but to go with the whole Grim Brother 1 thing, I think Grim Wifey 1 might be close-ish? I don't know. We'll have to see if there's a verdict out on that from Grim at some point, but just want to congratulate him on their engagement and wish them many happy years of marriage to come.
Most definitely.
I've gotten to meet Grim's significant other, and I'm being a horrible person and forgetting her name at the moment, but getting to see both of them at the studio and just at some of the meetups that we've done during PAX and everything is just cool. So it's a nice thing moving forward. I'm in the middle of that too, so I might be a little biased on that.
Just a little?
Just a little bit. Again, congratulations to Jeff. He's been getting well wishes from a lot of different people across Facebook and Twitter and everywhere else. So much good times to you both. Charlie is her name. So I had to look it up on Facebook. So Charlie and Jeff. Next thing that we have on the list of minimal things to discuss is, for those who know, King Louie, or Lane, he runs a machinima group called Thomas Productions, and they have been working on a machinima project for about 2 years. That's an extension of one of their series that's done in Halo Reach called Marlin the Elite. So after 2 years of development and recording and editing, they finally have released the Marlin the Elite movie. It's about 100 and almost 100 minutes long. It's 95 minutes on YouTube, but it's on their YouTube channel, Thomas Productions, and it's all done in Reach, the body acting and everything. And so 2 years is quite a long time, and that reminds me of another project that we won't discuss at the moment. Yeah, that thing. There's a lot of people that were involved with this. I wasn't involved with it too much during the process. I did offer to help, but I don't think he needed me for anything. But everything that has gone on through the Marlin the Elite series has kind of culminated to this movie, and I think this is kind of their wrap up to the whole Marlin the Elite series. At least that's kind of what I've been led to believe and understand. I would highly recommend that you go check him out. He's been a great supporter of us. He's actually done a couple of things for us on the podcast, and also has done stuff on the aforementioned other Machinima project that will hopefully come out someday in the not too distant future. But if you guys are joining up on our Friday nights or have seen some of the Achieving Halo stuff, you may have seen King Louie pop up in some of the streams or some of the videos, and that's the same person that is behind these Marlin the Elite Machinima things. So hit him up on YouTube and Twitter, and make sure you check out the movie. Again, it is like a full feature-length movie. It's 95 minutes long. Grab some popcorn and have an enjoyable time watching some Machinima. I do miss a Machinima being a staple in the Halo community. It was very popular during the Halo 2 and Halo 3 days, and it's been kind of sad to see it make its departure from Halo. And I guess overall, it's kind of departed from gaming overall. There's still niche communities, but Halo Machinima was one of the things that really got me into liking the Halo franchise to begin with. I don't know about you, GT.
I got into Machinima with Red versus Blue, which pretty much everybody did. That was the first real Halo Machinima. And I've enjoyed a lot of what I've watched. And don't get me wrong, there's some bad stuff out there.
Whenever I go through the Machinima Mondays, there's some stuff I just watch and I cringe. It's like, I mean, it's a good thing that you tried, but there is some work that needs to be done in some of these areas. But people try, and I think...
Well, the important part is that people try. Because you don't know what you've got until you actually do something. It's a learning experience.
It is. And as you try, you learn new things and you get better at things. I mean, when I first did the podcast, there were lots of things. I'm not looking forward to listening to some of those shows when I go and do the movie exports for them for the YouTube stuff. Just because I know how bad I was at podcasting back then. And all the ums, uhs, likes, all those kinds of words. And granted, I still use some of them today. It's not as many because I've practiced over the time of trying to make sure all my thoughts are together and my speech isn't slurred and whatnot. Still happens. That's just part of the thing. But I am not looking forward to going back and listening to some of those and be like, oh, this is so cringy.
This is terrible.
My 9-year-ago self did not know what I was doing. I'm still thankful that Fumo gave me the opportunity to take over the podcast and revive it. But at the same time, it's just, ugh.
Well, I mean, you learn.
Yeah. And I guess I should appreciate how far I've personally have come as far as being able to talk in front of a microphone and in front of people.
Yeah, it's same for me. I mean, don't get me wrong, I still stumble over my words. Because, words are hard.
Words are very hard. Language is even harder. Making coherent sentences can be even more difficult.
Yeah, it's especially when you don't have well-developed thoughts. You're trying to work the thought out while you're trying to describe the thought. It doesn't really work a lot.
It's like trying to have a conversation, but in a dialogue sort of way. Almost how you read out of a novel where you don't have a lot of the stutters or utterances of those filling in the gap words, like the uhs and ums and likes, those kinds of things. But trying to pull those out and make it almost like you're able to listen to professional commentary and edited audio. And for everyone that listens to the downloaded show, you actually hear a lot fewer instances of those because I go in and remove them out of the tracks, or at least a significant number of them. So a lot of the stuff that GT and I say, I'll actually edit out. It takes me about a minute, 2 minute edit of the show. Well, not that long. Maybe every 2 minutes of audio there is 1 minute of cleaning stuff out. Sometimes 3 to 1 if we're having a really good night.
Yeah. I don't know if you'd classify that as a good night.
Sometimes we're just on a roll and everything is coming together, especially when we have guests on and we're able to bounce discussions off of other people. That's when I've noticed whenever we are able to actually have that constant back and forth dialogue that doesn't have as many instances of those.
Well, I guess that's true as well.
Everyone in the chat is talking about the Adpocalypse rebound. I don't know if anyone has heard the latest news about the YouTube fiasco, but there's some not so good stuff happening over on YouTube right now. I don't think we need to get into that, but if you're interested, just Google some stuff and you'll see what's going on.
Yeah.
Hey, Arkibu. Nice of you to join us. Junus is also in here. Hopefully we haven't scared away iPolyp Master yet, either. There's not really much else to talk about as far as community stuff or news stuff, so the floor is kind of open to anyone in the chat wanting us to talk about anything, or GT and I can just shoot the breeze for a little bit. I think there's some stuff that we're all looking forward to. I know that earlier in the chat, before we started the show, people were wanting some news about Halo 6 here pretty soon. But I wouldn't be surprised if we don't hear any Halo 6 news up until shortly before E3 or at E3. I would say if we don't hear anything Halo 6 at E3 next year, there is reason for concern.
Yeah. I'm already kind of concerned about it. But
a few people are.
I mean, to not have, any hint, just nothing all year. And to have them flat say that they are not talking about Halo 6 right now. I'm like,
I'm wondering what's happening down at the studio. What shakedown is happening? Because the game at this point is very much not likely coming out next year, which would break the 3-year dev cycle that we've seen for most of the Halo titles so far.
Like I said before, if they need the extra year, I don't have a problem giving it to us. Just say something.
Anything, please. I don't know if that's something to do with the campaign, because I know the campaign for Halo 5, granted, it depends on how you look at it, wasn't as bad as Halo 4. I don't want to piss anyone off when I say that. There was still a lot to be desired with the campaign of Halo 5. There is a lot of stuff I think they got right with the multiplayer in Halo 5. I personally enjoy the multiplayer a lot. Even the Warzone experience, even though it has the rec system, I still enjoy the experience for multiplayer. Forge, while it was late, is a very well fleshed out system, and it is the most powerful Forge system out of any Halo game, hands down. Campaign still leaves something to be desired. And I'm wondering if that may be one of the reasons why there's the delay.
It quite possibly could be that.
So I don't know. But every game has been released 3 years subsequently, except for Halo 4 came 2 years after Halo Reach. But other than that, every major first-person shooter Halo title has been released every 3 years. So it's going to feel a little weird that Halo 6 isn't coming out until 2019. That's where a lot of people believe Halo 6 is heading to right now. I don't know if it's going to be something where they're going to do a September release of Halo 6 compared to a October or November release like a lot of the other titles have been, just because it's a longer dev cycle. I almost think with how they've crafted Halo 5, there's not much room for improvement from a game engine perspective.
Well, that is one thing I have to admit. At least with Halo 6, it doesn't look like they're going to have to do a complete rewrite of the actual game engine like they did with Halo 5. So that is something going in our favor. So, they can spend more time concentrating on, actually building the game and not so much on, just making it work. Sorry.
No worries.
Had to get that thought in there.
Yeah, sure.
Half developed and disappeared.
And then reformed.
But yeah, like I said, if they need extra time, I don't have a problem giving it to them.
It's just keep us in the loop. We want to know. And even a little bit of info would be helpful. Just saying, like, campaign story is still being written and our assets are X% done or whatever. Granted, I don't think they would ever say something like that, but...
Well, they probably wouldn't, but...
Just some acknowledgement. Heck, the Halo TV show has had more news than Halo 6, and we're still being hung on by a thread of saying it's still in development.
That's something I really wish they would either confirm or deny.
I really wonder what's up with that, because when the community seems to bring it up, it always seems like someone from the studio says, yes, it's still being worked on, it's still a thing. But we have no, I don't know if proof is the right word, because...
We have no information on it. They haven't told us anything.
We honestly don't know what's going on.
All we know is that they announced it, and they haven't done anything or they haven't told us anything about it, other than they're working on it.
I don't even know if the same TV deals are in there, because wasn't it going to be hosted on Showtime? Is it going to be premiered on Showtime?
I don't know which place it was going to be. I don't remember. It was one of the big pay for TV show
services,
networks,
channels. Yeah, I'm going to look it up right now just because it's been so long since we've heard anything about it. It's one of those things that it would be nice to have some info about it, other than just them saying we're still working on it.
The only thing I remember is that Steven Spielberg was supposed to be producing it.
And I'm looking at an article here from Engadget from July 22nd saying that Microsoft is still saying it's going. I don't know who the 343 spokesperson or Microsoft spokesperson was, but it's still being done by Steven Spielberg and is planned for, Showtime. Planned for Showtime. And this was announced back in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
It's been over 4 years in the making. Granted, Nightfall was kind of a flop.
Definitely.
There might be some concern there of actually trying to get things done correctly, but we honestly have no idea when it's going to be coming out.
Eventually?
Soon TM. I'll take Installation 01's little slogan there, soon TM.
Yeah.
Talking about things that have very little updates to them, whatever happened to the Halo channel? That thing I think has been kind of long lost and forgotten.
Pretty much. Well, they replaced it with a new app.
Wait, what app?
The Halo app.
You don't have the Halo app on Xbox. You have the Halo channel, but you don't have the Halo app. Oh, Eric Cabu, the Halo channel had plenty of issues. Plenty of issues.
Oh, yeah. I don't even think I have it installed on my computer anymore.
I'm not saying I miss it. I'm just saying that was something that they were pushing pretty big during the launch of MCC, and then it just went by the wayside. It was an interesting concept. I think if the interface wasn't as clunky, it would have had a little bit better adoption on it. It is kind of an interesting video portal for it, but with very little content to add stuff there constantly, it just wasn't useful. I mean, if you had the community updates, if you had every community update article that was written have a corresponding video up on the Halo channel, I could see it being used more often. I'm wondering what the leadership decisions were behind, I guess, not using it anymore or not updating it. I don't even know what to call that. Because I don't think they completely just dumped it to the wayside. Granted, I haven't looked at it in a while. I don't know if a lot of the stuff that they've been putting up on YouTube even shows up on there. But all of your terminals show up there, right? The terminal videos? And then they have the little 101 featurettes. They also have the Twitch stream integration, which it'd be nice if they actually integrated that with Halo 5 and maybe Mixer, and then that might be a little bit more reason to use the Halo channel app as well. I'm just saying, there's avenues, and it's obvious that they just haven't really cared about the app anymore. Maybe it was a fun experiment, and then they decided not to go with it anymore. I don't know. It's just one of those random thoughts that occasionally comes up in the back of my mind. It's like, I wonder what they were thinking about this, or what they've done, or their plans on doing with this down the road, if any. It doesn't sound like there is much of any. Not to mention the Halo Waypoint app on the 360.
Yeah.
Kind of the predecessor to the Halo channel in a way.
Well, they just flat obsoleted that. It went away, period.
It still works.
It still works, but they don't do anything with it.
If you still play... Well, because the terminal thing to unlock the credits for Halo 4 still works, right? You have to enter it into that app. I guess technically there is still some functionality that's supported within that platform.
Some.
I think there's a online version of it too, unless they've whacked that completely as well. Yeah, I think I'm talking about Atlas, right, Haas? Oh, yeah. Speaking of which, hey, Haas.
Hey, Haas. Yeah, Atlas, that was the map thing.
Yeah, for Reach. That was cool.
Yeah, I never could get it to work.
It was a little buggy, but it proved some interesting things that you could do with Halo. And now we have Observer mode in Halo 5, which is kind of a cool thing. It would be, I think, also interesting to have a top-down view for like competitive stuff, but that's another thing. The only thing, while Atlas was a cool thing to try to do, it was a pain to be playing the game and then trying to look down at your device that had Atlas running on it. It just didn't make sense. You have a radar on your screen already. Arguably brings up an interesting point. It'd be useful for Warzone if you had legendary spawns or boss spawns. You could get a top-down view of what's going on.
Yeah, I could get on board with that.
That'd be interesting to see if there's ways to introduce mobile functionality into Halo multiplayer, just from like a Warzone experience, not a traditional multiplayer experience. Don't want to even touch that. But look at some of the other games that use stuff like the Mixer integration, where you can interact with and cause things to change in some games that are already on the platform. And imagine doing that with something in Warzone. Say people can come and watch a stream of Warzone, and they could find the session and log into it from their phone, and they can choose what bosses come up next, or they can drop a random boss if they spend so many sparks, like if it was Mixer or something. It'd probably be predestined points to make it evenly balanced on the field, but you could have...
You have a choice of three bosses that you can pick from.
Sure, and the one that's most picked by the viewing audience is the one that spawns. Because right now, the Warzone experience is very predictable.
Well, yeah.
Warzone Firefight, a little bit different, so, but you could apply the same thing with Warzone Firefight. Well, yeah, because like each wave has only 2 or 3 variants in it, so you know the probability of what's going to be your next wave. But at the same time, at least there is a little variety. It's not much, but there's a little bit. It'd be interesting, though, from a viewer perspective, of being able to come in and vote on what the next boss should be. So I can see little bits of integration in there from a viewer interaction perspective on something like Warzone. And I think that'd be fun.
I think it'd be a lot of fun too.
So 3 for 3 if you're listening.
I don't know how hard it would be to implement, but I think it'd be fun.
I think if they wanted to, they could. It might be more a matter of if they want that kind of control out there and if they want to spin the cycles to actually do the integration. But the integration itself, I wouldn't imagine would be that difficult. I'm not a game developer, so just take that with the grain of salt. That is just an idea. It would just be an interesting one. So we are about 30 minutes into this show. I'm not sure how much longer we're going to go, but we're going to go ahead and give away a Dark Horse Covenant Banshee 5-inch replica. This is the normal paint job one. There were 2 other ones that were sold at some trade shows last year, I believe. I think it was last year. So this is the normal paint job one, the Dark Horse 5-inch Banshee. And we have quite a bit of people here tonight, so we actually have a pretty good chance of giving this away to a good random... Yeah, and I have a good random number pick as well. So I'm going to go ahead and pull our viewer list, because we've got quite a few. We've got Glorno Gaiva. I hope I'm saying that rightly. I'm sorry if I butchered it. We have Haas, Pins, Erkibu, Laird, I Polyp Master, and Junos Alliance. All in the chat tonight. So, since I don't have a bot, I'm going to go over to random.org, my favorite random number generator. The first one that will hit 2 iterations, we will give it away to. And the lucky person is Junos Alliance.
Congrats!
So, congratulations, Junos. You have won yourself a Halo Covenant Banshee replica from Dark Horse. All I need you to do is fill out a form over on Podtacular, and I will DM you the link, I guess, over Mixer. I'm not sure how that works. I've never actually done that before over Mixer. Because everyone that's won has followed me on Twitter, and I followed them back, so Twitter DMs have just worked. I will have to figure that out. I think I can do I can do a whisper on here. So I will whisper you after the show. What's your username on Discord? I could do it there. Oh, I didn't know. Okay. Sorry. I don't necessarily connect stream names to Discord names to gamertag names very well. Yeah, I will message you on Discord.
Don't feel bad. I have the same problems.
I will message you over on Discord, and I still need to talk to you about the other thing, which I would like to actually get started on this weekend. So we will DM and get that all sorted out. So congratulations, Junos. You have won yourself the Banshee. We'll be giving away a couple more of these on a couple of Fridays. I do have a couple more to give away. And we'll have another giveaway next week. We are entering into the final month, which means we have another couple of podcasts before the end of the year. GT, you want to kind of give a little bit of sneak peek of what might be coming down as far as giveaways for the next month?
Well, I can tell you about one giveaway.
Do tell.
It's a very special giveaway, and it will happen on the last show of the year, and the rest is a secret.
We still have some details
I'll give
to figure out.
One little clue. It has an X in the title.
That's a very, very suspicious clue.
Very suspicious. Yes, very suspicious. I like that. That's good.
We're still ironing out some of the details. Hopefully by the next show, we'll have more of them for you.
Yes, we will definitely get the details ironed out. This is something that we just decided in the last, hour?
Hour?
Hour and a half.
10 minutes before the show started today.
But definitely stay tuned. I would definitely tune in to the live shows because that can be an advantage and probably will be an advantage.
A distinct advantage, which Everyone here is off to a great start. We actually have a pretty good audience today because we've been averaging about 3 or 4 for the past 2 months or so. And the fact that we have 8 viewers tonight is really good numbers in my book.
Oh, it's incredible. It's good to see everybody here. And I'm glad that Haas actually remembered we were on tonight.
And Pin's chat's working too. I'm guessing he's home today instead of on his phone.
On his mobile?
Yes. So glad Pins is in here too. And we have a couple new people as well. So we have iPolyp, and then we also have Giorno. I'm assuming you're new. I don't recognize your name. If you're not new, my apologies. My sincerest apologies. And
sorry for butchering the name.
Yeah. Hopefully we will have more people come over. I know the switch from Twitch to Mixer was a little abrupt. We did forecast it saying that we were going to do this. From the 10s and 12s and upwards of 20s that we would regularly get sometimes, it's been a little bit of a drag for Mixer, but we're hoping that people will make the jump on over because Mixer gives us just a lot more interactability with our viewers because we can talk to them more quickly instead of having to wait for an 11 or 12-second delay that Twitch introduces.
Twitch introduces a lot of delay.
It does. And there's nothing they can do about it, but it's beneficial for us to focus on Mixer for the podcast-specific stuff. And Junus is asking why we don't do Twitch and Mixer and YouTube at the same time. For the podcast, it simply comes down to Mixer is the platform where we can interact with quickly. For our other streams, we are looking to do multicast with Twitch and Mixer and YouTube. And we've honestly thought about doing Facebook as well, believe it or not. So we've thought about trying to do all 4 platforms at the same time. Twitch, Mixer, and YouTube are the 3 easy ones. Facebook is a little more tricky to live stream to as far as getting everything set up, because at least with YouTube, you can kind of set some stuff up in advance and you can pre-configure those things. Facebook is a little more tricky, but Twitch and Mixer are the easy 2. YouTube, not quite as easy, but still doable. Facebook is a little more tricky than YouTube to get done. Not impossible, but tricky, especially when you're trying to do it to a page and not your own personal profile. No. Does MySpace even have video streaming? I don't think so.
MySpace as a social media does not exist. It is a web development page now.
Really? It's gone?
Yeah. Type it in. MySpace.com. They're like a GoDaddy. They do it.
No, it's still there. MySpace.com is still MySpace. No, it's still there.
The last time I typed it in, it came up as a web development.
Maybe it had a different root domain, so instead of .com, it was .net or .org. AOL, jeez, Yahoo, LinkedIn.
It is still there.
Remember ICQ? I knew of it. I never used it. And I remember on the PHP BB, and I think they still have it in the default configurations, that was something you could add to your user profile, an ICQ address.
I'm actually lost, so I can't tell you. I have no idea what the heck you're talking about.
It was an older, I almost want to say it was kind of the preemption to XMPP-based chat, and I don't know if it was any at all related to IRC, but I did not look into it.
Yeah, I wasn't into instant messaging in those days.
I know we had a big IRC thing through the Halo community back in the early Halo 2 days. Remember when there was MSN Messenger?
I actually used to use a MSN Messenger to talk to some of my friends, but that's as far as it went.
Yeah, so did I. And then MSN Messenger merged in with Skype.
Oh, I used Yahoo Messenger too. I remember that. I had to uninstall them because I got tired of all the bloatware they would install, all the other crap.
I remember when MSN was packaged with Windows XP. Getting back to some old tech in this show. And some people are putting the smackdown on Skype. Just going to say it. We use Skype for the show.
And there's a reason we use Skype for the show.
There is a very good reason you use
all
Skype
the
for
other
the show.
platforms that we've tried have poor audio quality.
Including Discord.
Unless, in the case of Discord, you happen to be a partner where they give you access to the high-end servers.
Right, and the better codecs, which we don't have because we're not nearly big enough to be a Discord partner. We've had people let us use their stuff before. Duquesne gave us a channel once, but he deleted it. So we can't use that anymore.
Did he ever give you access to it?
Yeah, we had access to it. It's just the channel, I guess we didn't use it in a while, so he just deleted it.
That's all right. This works.
And all of our guests that we have on, more of them have Skype to chat with, so.
Fans, the one thing you need to figure out is if they're doing local recordings for their podcast, or are you talking watching live? Yeah,
and that's one of the things that we do too. I guess we're kind of getting into the background of what I just realized I'm typing on the Podtacular chat instead of my personal chat, whatever. We use Skype because of the audio quality that provides the good quality over our live stream. We still record locally, which is why the audio quality that you get in the download sounds better than what you'll get on the live stream. Because the microphone that's in front of my mouth, for those that are at least watching, this is a lot better microphone than my Astros are.
Trust me, because I'm listening to the Astros.
He gets to listen to them every week. And it's not to say that it's bad. It just doesn't sound great.
Let's put it this way. He kind of sounds like he's got his corks in his nose.
Do I sound like nasally?
Oh, yes. Very.
I've never listened to a recording of myself from my Astros, so I've never known.
Yeah, I have a set of A50s, the second gen ones, and they did not make the mic any better. It still sounds like you're talking like this, and it just it annoys me. So I've got my setup to where I can use my actual podcast mic, which in my case happens to be a Blue Yeti, for my voice chat and for doing the podcast. So it works out.
I could do that with my setup. It's just I've run into issues with the drop samples when I've had this microphone being pulled by multiple sources. And I don't know if that's just a Windows thing or that's my configuration that just needs to be tweaked or what.
That's just it. I only have one program pulling from this mic. This mic goes into my virtual lines, and then from my virtual lines, it splits out to, Skype and the local recording. And it works. So I don't mess with it.
I have to retweak mine at some point to get it to work.
Yeah. The only time I have to jack with it is when Windows updates and changes all my audio defaults. Every time it updates. I don't want the sound going to my TV monitors. I want the sound going to my sound card.
Like you've configured it over and over and over again.
About once a month, I have to go through and reconfigure it.
You think they would get a hint?
I wish there was a way you could just disable that part, the HDMI or audio over HDMI in Windows, period. But that way, maybe you'd quit doing it. But it would just change the default to something else.
Yeah, I don't know if you could do that.
That's all right. It works.
It does. It works for us. It is something that we've been able to keep going for a while. So there's no reason for us to really change it. And our guests have Skype for the most part. Whenever they don't, we'll use Discord. But for the most part, Skype works what we need for what we need to do.
It's even more fun when we have guests on that are mobile, like driving down the road and on the show. That gets interesting.
Yes, that can get interesting. Although it's been a while since we've had one of those on. I forget what the last one even was.
The ones that did
Machinima, Forging, some project.
No, the thing for Halo 5.
Oh, yes. The Hunt the Truth.
The Hunt the Truth, yes.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, that one was kind of painful.
Noah, I forget what his last name is. Noah, and then there was... His gamer tag was Crush because he was in our Spartan company for a while.
Yeah, and he'd actually show up. He was showing up to some of the game nights, but...
He was.
But I haven't seen him in a while, so he probably got busy with a new project.
Probably. I want to go back and listen to those now. Those are fun. The promotion for Halo 5 was so different than what the campaign delivered.
I know.
Unfortunate. So sad.
I think we beat that one pretty much to death. And beyond.
Very much so.
I could use my Rode video microphone.
Is that a shotgun mic? Okay.
I bought it for my video camera, and it's been sitting on top of my desk for a year, and I haven't touched it yet.
That's just one of those things that someday you'll get that all set up.
And you want to know the silly reason why?
Why?
I keep forgetting to buy 9-volt batteries. Because the mic has a boost in it, and it takes a 9-volt battery.
Those should be pretty common, because smoke detectors usually take 9-volt batteries.
Mine doesn't. Mine takes AA.
Huh.
But yeah, I had to remember to get a 9-volt battery. Isn't that sad?
That's funny. That is funny. I guess it's time to go ahead and wrap things up. An update on our Spartan company. We are close to getting one of our level 4s done. Actually, 2 of them, but the closest one is the killing an enemy Spartan with a ground vehicle. We still have another 434 to go on that one. Forget to pay the toll is following right behind it, followed by the pain train, and then sorry mate. The one that's closest to being done is from the top rope, which is kill an enemy Spartan with a ground pound. We need another 641 of those.
Wow.
That's quite a bit of ground pounds.
That is a lot of ground pounds.
We have a lot more Marines to kill too. And unfortunately, that can only be done in Warzone. I guess technically Warzone Assault too, but you get the numbers in Warzone. Keep working at it. We are close on a couple of the level 4s to get them over to level 5s. And then those will fall back down to the bottom of the list again. Yay. Maybe by the time Halo 6 comes out, we'll get the helmet. Maybe. If we're lucky. Yes. Make sure you check us out on our social media platforms. We are on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram for the social media stuff. We are on YouTube, Twitch, Mixer for the video stuff. We also have our Spartan Company, which we still have a few slots in if you want to join up. We have our Xbox Club and whatever else we have. If you just search for Podtacular on it, that will be the way to find us. For the Loot Crate, you have until December 15th to order the December crate. You can head on over to lootcrate.com/podtacular or podtacular.com/lootcrate. They will both take you to the same spot as far as the Loot Crate website. And the current theme for the Halo Legendary Crate is the Halo 3 crate, which is the Great Journey. That one has the Master Chief and Bubble Shield, Halo, what's the figure called? Blanking on it. I don't know why.
Icons?
Yes, the Icons figure. Thank you.
Yeah, I had to think for a minute too.
Sorry about that. You can head on over to lootcrate.com/podtacular or podtacular.com/lootcrate. And then if you use the Podtacular code at checkout, you'll get $3 off your crate. That is if you didn't take advantage of the 30% off discount coupon discount code. Wow, I said that really wrong. That was the 30% off for Cyber Monday, which is pretty good. You can find us over on the podcast network as well. We're part of a network of gaming-specific shows, which includes shows like Guardian Radio, Critscast, The Learning Cliff, Podcast 76, Work in Progress, and How to Murder Time. For more information about those shows, head on over to thepodcast.com. That is podcast with a K instead of a C. You can also check us out on our live stream nights. We do our podcast normally on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern. We're kind of shifting them back between Tuesdays and Wednesdays just because of the holidays and other life events, namely me buying a house. So bear with us as we are kind of shifting back and forth between Tuesdays and Wednesdays. We will make announcements on Twitter, usually regarding the scheduling of the podcast. So make sure you're following us there for all the latest updates on when we stream that. We also have our game nights that are streamed by GT on Friday nights at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Lobby's choice usually. And the same offer, I believe, is open for this coming weekend of doing an Achieving Halo episode. So you want to tell people a little bit more about that, GT?
Yeah, with this Friday night game night, if you are interested and we have enough people, I will do a recording of Achieving Halo during game night, and then after we're done, we can go play matchmaking or whatever the lobby wants. If that makes it easier for people, just let me know. You can hit me up on Twitter at Godzilla Todd or on Xbox Live at Godzilla Space T. You just let me know what you think. If it's something you want to do, that's great. If it's not, then we'll just do it some other time.
And again, if you want to get involved with any of the stuff that's going on during the Friday nights, make sure you message GT on Twitter or hit him up in the Xbox Club. He usually posts the looking for groups for the Achieving Halos that are done on Saturday, if you are interested in doing it during the weekend. Again, if people are interested in doing an Achieving Halo episode on Friday and then following that up with a game night, then definitely let him know that you are interested. And I see a comment down there about doing some PC game nights, and that's not a bad idea. There has been an issue with the Halo servers that were up. I ran into some billing issues with Azure. I had some lab credit that was consumed by another lab exercise that I had forgot to shut down and remove resources for, so that consumed all my resources and all my free credits that I had. So I've got to get the server back up. Hopefully with a new house, I'll just have a server that's hosted on my own server, and that will be not having to worry about Azure. That might change over at some point in the next couple of months, but for now, just trying to get the Azure server back up, at least for the Halo CE and the Halo Custom Edition servers. As for Halo 2 servers, that's something that still has to be worked out. But for the meantime, there's a handful of Halo CE and Halo Custom Edition servers to play on. Just search for Podtacular Infinity in the server list, and you will find us. That's going to wrap it up for our show tonight. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Sorry again for the short show. There's just not much news to talk about. Not much going on in the community either, which is okay. It's been a little bit of a quiet last couple of weeks, especially with Thanksgiving and whatnot. So that leaves us open to doing a couple of other things, trying to get some other community members on, and getting into some more books. I gotta figure out which book we're going to do next, but we will probably have that figured out by next week. Because I get to travel for work, and I need a book to read. We'll get that figured out pretty soon. And we'll let you know on the podcast next week, so you guys can follow along now. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Everyone have a safe week ahead. I know the weather in the northern hemisphere is getting a little snowy and cold and whatnot, so stay safe out there. And we will catch you guys next time. Keep on fragging Thanksgiving leftovers, because I still have some.